Kiana Schulze. I am from Shawnee, Kansas, and I'm in the kinesiology doctoral program. My research focuses on a form of lung disease called pulmonary hypertension, which is basically just like high blood pressure in the pulmonary circulation in the lungs. And so with this disease, what we see for a lot of patients is they have difficulty exercising and breathing. And a lot of that had previously been attributed to the disease in the lungs, but our lab wants to focus more on what's actually happening in the muscles during exercise. So the skeletal muscles that are working, and then the respiratory muscles, the primary of those, which is the diaphragm that controls breathing. Our key findings have been that blood flow and oxygen delivery to both skeletal and respiratory muscle is impaired in pulmonary hypertension at rest and during exercise. Specifically, we found that the blood vessels to the diaphragm don't expand to allow more blood flow, which could contribute to some of the weakness and muscle dysfunction that we see in this disease. And so this can inform future therapeutics to target those blood vessels specifically that would allow them to open up more readily and could enhance breathing and quality of life for these patients. So kind of the next goal of our lab is looking at some therapeutic alternatives, because a lot of therapeutics are really expensive. And so if we can look at some alternatives that are less expensive, or something like respiratory muscle training or exercise training, that could be a much more feasible way to target this blood flow delivery issue that we're seeing to muscle in pulmonary hypertension and allow them to exercise better and breathe better and live better. I became interested in research when I was taking kinesiology 335, exercise physiology, as an undergrad here. And I went to talk to Dr. Mush, who's now one of my major professors. And I asked him why one of these things was happening that he was teaching us in class. And he said, we don't really know why this is happening. And I thought that was really interesting, that there are all these things that we're learning that we still don't understand how they're happening. And so then I kind of realized that research is how you are at the forefront of learning these things. And that kind of led me to being into the lab and getting into pulmonary hypertension, because it's this silent disease that is really difficult to detect and diagnose, and it accompanies a lot of other diseases. And so we were starting to look into that disease because people are walking around with this moderate form of pulmonary hypertension, and they don't feel good, they feel tired, they feel difficult to breathe, and it's hard to exercise, and they don't really know why. And so we're looking at what's happening in this specific lung disease prior to heart failure or without other comorbidities. Thank you so much for this award. It's an honor to be given it. I would like to especially thank Dr. David Poole and Dr. Tim Mush for all of their mentorship and valuable conversations and everything they provided me over the several years that I've been in my master's and doctoral program with them, and for allowing me to do this research. Thank you. Go Cats!